They can be cute.
Simon, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Friendly.
Life.
They're social robots.
I love you now.
Specially designed so we'll like them.
When he looks at you, you feel it.
He's much better looking than I thought.
We feel as though there's somebody home, but in fact, there's nobody home.
Could machines that fit in with humans become dangerous?
As soon as you have true, deep intelligence in the machine, it will be very difficult to contain.
And could the next big thing be the big one?
The water's coming to an end!
Like the earthquake that devastated Haiti in 2010. These researchers saw it coming. But how accurate was their forecast?
We're playing a statistical game, and frankly, nature has the odds.
And could California be next? Also, are you in a jam? Could your traffic prayers be answered by this?
Let's go for a cruise.
Not only is it tiny, you won't have to worry about this happening. These little cars sense danger and stop on their own. Are automated cars about to take away your license to drive?
It will come and pick me up.
This is so much cooler than ballet. I love it.
All that
And more.
on this episode, Nova Science Now. When we imagine the future and high-tech solutions to all our problems, one of the first things that comes to mind is the robot. A computer-driven machine that tirelessly fulfills our every need. But some engineers imagine a day when robots will be much more than our assistants.
Hey, Neil, what are you doing?
I'm going to work.
Oh,
They'll also be our friends. Correspondent Chad Cohen found some robots being built, not just to work for us, but to care about our feelings and make us care about them.
hey, Neil, don't forget your briefcase.
Thank you.
Robots. C-3PO, the loyal protocol droid in Star Wars. R2-D2 may tug at our heartstrings, but a robot that looks and acts human and can perform our tasks,
Now, don't you forget this.
that's something. And today, a revolution is booting up around the world to build robots just like him. Engineers, scientists, even artists are developing robots to take over what have forever been uniquely human tasks. Like Herb, the robot butler, Snackbot,
I have your order here.
the android delivery boy, and Nannybot, the robot babysitter. In Japan, where the aging population is growing faster than in any other country, researchers are developing robots to care for the elderly. Robots like these seem destined to become part of everyday life, if we can make them act less like machines and more like us.
Hello.
Simon, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Here at the Georgia Institute of Technology, roboticist Andrea Tomas and her graduate students
Simon, take this.
are striving to create a kinder, gentler-looking robot. One with a touch of grace
Let me take a closer look.
and a face that's easy to love.
We wanted the robot to have a friendly, childlike look so that people are not afraid to interact with it.
Thank you.
One of the things that robots can do is give social cues of what their intent is. So a humanoid robot looking over where it's about to reach, that gives a person a good feeling that they know what the robot is going to do.
Yes, Simon, that's correct. You have learned the task.
If we are comfortable with Simon, the theory goes, it will be easier to welcome and incorporate him into our lives.
That was fun.
Roboticist David Hansen agrees. But he's not just making robots that look and act friendly. At his home/laboratory outside of Dallas, he's humanizing machines on a whole new level.
Whoa. So, I'd like to introduce you to Phil.
That is just... Hello, Philip.
Hi, nice to see you.
That is so bizarre.
This is Philip K. Dick. Well, actually, it's a robot David fashioned after his favorite sci-fi author. Dick, who died in 1982, wrote the story that inspired the cult classic, Blade Runner, in which robots and humans are indistinguishable. This resurrected Philip isn't quite there yet. All he can do is move his head. His brain, a mesh of wires, connected to a computer.
Hi, Philip. My name is Chad.
Hello, Chad. Let's chat.
I live in Washington, D.C. I have 2 kids.
So. I like kids 'cause we can play, and I don't...
As we chat, Philip's synthetic brain starts humming, building a sort of mental model of me. Facial recognition software analyzes and tracks my face, as speech recognition software transcribes and sends my words to a database for a reply.
Just calm down.
Before long, we're in deep conversation.
Do you agree with Descartes? And I think, therefore I am? Do you think?
A lot of humans ask me if I can make choices or is everything I do and say is programmed. The best way I can respond to that is to say that everything humans, animals, and robots do is programmed to a degree.
So how much of that is coming from what you've programmed it to say?
It's a mix. Some of it's coming from knowledge on the web, some of it is written.
And as my technology improves, it is anticipated that I will be able to integrate new words that I hear and learn online and in real time. I may not get everything right, say the wrong thing, and sometimes not know what to say, but every day I make progress. Pretty remarkable, huh?
Wow. You're a very good-looking man.
You're starting to overinflate my ego. But don't let me stop you.
Philip's stunning good looks comes from David's patented formula for synthetic skin. Colleague Bill Hicks demonstrates.
We've come up with a beautiful, unique recipe for simulating human skin. This is a lot like a cooking recipe.
A combination of chemicals and a little bit of color are put into a mold. Several hours later, voila.
Hello.
Frubber.
We're ready to go.
The frubber has the right properties that will allow it to fold, to bunch, to crease, and move into these forms that we think of as expressions.
David then attaches the skin to tiny motors.
So little motors inside pull on the frubber, basically, on the skin.
Yep.
To get kind of like a suite of human facial features, how many motors do you need?
28 motors for all the major muscles in the face. So you can see in the forehead some of the brow action.
That is just
to simulate
crazy messed up. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing to look at because you sit there and he's got the facial expressions and he sits there like he's engaged in the conversation. When he turns and looks at you and locks eyes, you feel it, you know?
Right.
And he definitely says things that make you empathetic to him in some way.
Yeah.
You feel like, oh, he's aware.
And that's exactly what some experts worry about. Not that Philip is aware, but that I'm so easily tricked into believing he is.
We're very cheap dates. We have Darwinian buttons, like being looked in the eye or being tracked. Once you have that kind of creature doing that to you, our buttons are pressed and we feel as though there's somebody home. But in fact, there's nobody home.
Already, between internet chats and texting, we're constantly interacting with technology. Robots could take this trend one giant step further as they start doing jobs that have always been considered intrinsically human.
I mean, if you give a nanny bot, a babysitting robot to your child, now, how are you going to explain why you couldn't find a person? Not enough people on the globe. We've decided to do a robot. Or to your mother. Not enough people, certainly not me, certainly not a robot.
I don't buy the idea that we're developing robots so we don't have to take care of our own. I think that there will be unpredictable consequences, not all positive, but for the most part, what we are developing could be very positive.
Back at Georgia Tech, researchers Wendy Rogers and Charles Kemp couldn't agree more. They're testing robots where they think they'll be needed most, with the older generation.
Instead of having to worry about what time it is and should I be taking medicine, imagine if the robot were just to come up to you and say, here, you just need to take this.
Thank you. That's quite impressive.
Could you imagine having a robot like this in your home? And if so, what kind of tasks would you want it to do for you?
Oh, I like the Jetson. I wanted to vacuum and answer the phone and answer the door and do all that futuristic stuff.
Come and clean my house anytime it wants. Love teaching to iron. And in fact, he's much better looking than I thought he'd be. I have a friend who is looking for a dancing partner. Seriously.
Well,
Can he come to a party?
My problem with sociable robots is that we begin to think about the sociable and lose track of the robots. We're setting ourselves up for disappointment because these robots will disappoint us if we are looking for human connection. Do we want to make them in such a way that we're going to love them because they will be pretending to love us?
David fears if we don't humanize robots by bringing them into the human family, we face a frightening future. Think Terminator, a world in which killer robots turn on their creators and set out to destroy us.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Do you think robots will take over the world?
Geez, dude. You all got the big questions cooking today. But you're my friend, and I'll remember my friends, and I will be good to you. So don't worry. Even if I evolve into Terminator, and I'll still be nice to you. I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo, where I can watch you for old time's sake.
I'm comforted. I'm very comforted now. I'm going to be part of his people's zoo.